Yo,
Oh, yeah.
okay. All right, we are good to go. We are in. So we're just gonna wait 1 or 2 minutes for some people to come in. I'm gonna send a message on
Okay.
Instagram.
Sure. How we know it's gonna tell us when people come in?
Yeah, we'll start to see. All right, so Red Warrior is here.
I can't see nothing on my end because I'm not the host.
Yeah, let me
That's
see.
not fair.
Put me in. Yeah, that part we can could definitely fix that part.
Hold up.
All right. So we're gonna wait for some more folks to roll in here.
Cool, cool. I just
All right.
love how your background is all Marvel except for the one DC Batman mobile.
Hey man, tell DC to step their game up. That's all. I can't have a poster of something that don't exist anymore.
I know, right? I got into a talk with that with somebody was like, oh, I was looking at this site and it was like, oh, you guys only talk about Marvel. It was like, well, DC don't have any news right now. So I would love DC to have something, but I haven't heard anything from that side outside of the Zack Snyder cut.
Hmm. That does and doesn't exist.
Yeah. Well, it exists, but yeah, I guess. Again,
Moto, good to see you. Good to see you.
you might have to tell me who's in.
Yeah. So right now we have Red Warrior. He's here. Big Nate is here. Rayon is here. Moto is here. So we have a few good folks in here.
Nice. What's going on? Are you crazy Lego fans? You don't hear the music in my background, do you?
Yeah, we do. Loud and clear.
Is it really loud?
Yes.
I can turn it down unless it's like, I mean, I don't know. Ask them if you want me to turn it down or something like that.
Guys, do you want us to turn down that music in the background? I don't know if
I didn't know you guys can hear it.
okay. All
But there's
right. We're gonna send one more message, and then we're gonna get started. So ideally, our class will start with us bringing in, introducing, saying hello to the possible students. Justin is in here. So our
hey,
class,
what
Justin,
up, Kurt? Wish I could see the comments.
yeah,
You have
PD
to put it
Bricks
around
is
time.
here. We could work on that for the next time around.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who else is here? Horned Owl is in here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Can you guys have a Lego Challenge video where you like build some? All right, that's a good idea, right? So,
What do you think?
well, I'll come back to it. Okay, so hello everybody, welcome. This is our first virtual class. The virtual class is a little bit different than what you see here. This is just fairly an introduction to what we're going to be teaching me and my brother, what we're going to be teaching, what we're going to be bringing you. As you guys see, there's 3 cameras set up. There's a camera on me, there's a camera on my brother Travis, and there's a camera on our desk, on our display. So this is where we're going to do all of our building. This is where we're going to be focusing on our building. So a lot of time I'm going to make the building aspect the centerpiece of our screen. So you can see the building technique, you can see what we're building, so you get an idea of what we're doing. As far as what we're going to teach during this class, we will teach you guys different techniques that we learned from the show, techniques that we have discovered on our own, and then also talk about different artistic stuff that you can add to your way of building. When you're building with Lego, there's tons of color. Travis is going to be able to really deep dive into that, since he is more into the painting and the drawing and the art aspect of his career path. So he'll be able to definitely help you with the color schemes, and I'm going to try to help you with the building techniques. So bring those 2 together, be a Lego master.
Be magic, yeah. And also we're going to talk about, I guess in future classes, the history of Lego, or just what maybe the Lego community is doing, what they're up to, so that you guys can be informed on what all things Lego.
Absolutely. That sounds like a real good idea, a real good plan. So first things first, who are we? Let's talk about that real quick. My name is Corey.
And my name is Travis.
Let's do the proper introduction. Welcome everybody. My name is Corey.
And my name is Travis.
And we're the brothers who brick. Basically, we are the brothers from the hit TV show Lego Masters. We are doing this virtual class. We're probably going to start doing this virtual class every Wednesday. We will then start to add more classes as more interest to our program starts to pick up. So for right now, we're sticking to just Wednesdays, okay? Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we are so happy that a couple of our friends are here. A couple of our friends are checking us out. So we are so happy that you guys are here and you guys are ready to learn some stuff.
And a part of this whole new experience for my brother and I. We appreciate all the support and the love from you fans. And it's just an amazing experience.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So first things first, let's talk about some of the tools that you use in Lego, right? So everybody's used to the 2 tools that you have in front of you, which are what? Your hands. Everybody's used to that. So let's talk about some of the tools that Lego have. Travis, do you remember what this tool is?
Of course, that tool is that tool had a rocky relationship in the beginning, but then I learned how to use it properly. Back in the day, before I don't know if this existed the whole time building Lego, but back in the day, I would use my main tool in my mouth, which is my teeth, to separate bricks. But Lego decided to come up with something called the brick separator. So what that is, basically the 2 part right there with the 2 studs on top is where you would lie it on a brick, as Corey's showing you now. And then whenever you're ready to remove that brick, if you make a mistake or you want to adjust your piece, you can just simply boop right there. See, magic, right? That's beautiful. And I know, and in the beginning of me learning the brick separator, it was tough. I sometimes resorted to biting, but it does come in handy, especially when you're in a crunch time and you don't have time to break it apart with your fingers. It really does come in handy. So, and there's other aspects of the brick separator too. There's the knob up top that can help separate Technic pieces and stuff. So it's very versatile.
Yeah, the piece up here, like what Travis was just describing, is when you have a certain piece that is kind of stuck. So let's say, for example, I want to take apart some of these pins that are stuck here, and I can't seem to do it with my finger. I can use the brick separator to simply, well, let's see. Well, this one, oh yeah, sorry.
You made that a little bit too tough.
Yeah. So like right here, I can't seem to get my hands into this. I can use the back piece of the brick separator and I can simply pop it out. So that's why you have that up top. So it definitely helps you to remove pegs and pins so that way you're not using your teeth. Brick separator is an awesome tool, one of the best tools that Lego has ever created to help builders be able to build and create. Now, let's talk about this tool. This is an unofficial Lego tool, but it is a very useful tool.
That tool is featured on Lego Masters.
Yep. So when we first were introduced to this small mallet, we didn't really know what was the purpose of it until we saw certain teams using it. And I'm going to demonstrate it while Travis, you could just quickly explain, what's the purpose of it.
So let me see, what challenge did we actually use it on? We actually used it on our first challenge, which was the theme park challenge. And so what the mallet does is when you have a piece, two flat pieces, it really gets them to stick together. So for example, let's say Corey wanted to add, as he's adding those, I guess like by 8s, I think. I can't really see
different sizes.
Okay, well, the different sizes of flat plates. As Corey's let's say you want to add on more bricks or more flat pieces on top, the mallet comes in handy to really get them stuck together outside of other techniques you can use. So what Corey's doing right now is adding, let's say, all right, right now it looks like he's adding maybe water, right? Maybe water, and he's adding maybe a sidewalk to, let's say, a sandy beach area even, The mallet really gets those pieces sticking together so that way when you add more, it doesn't just, when you move it or something, or when you want to, let's say, rotate it around or do a different area, all the pieces are not just going to fly up into your face and into your nostrils and into your brain. So
a little graphic, a
little morbid at the end there, but I think they got the gist of that. So definitely get yourself a mallet, get yourself a brick separator.
Now, this part right here can be very tricky, especially if you have a brick separator and maybe the pieces are not lifting up the way you want it to. The other side of the brick separator has an angle where you can actually sip it underneath and you can lift it. Well, this brick separator, let me change my brick separator because this one right here kind of bent out of shape. I've done that. I've used that side a lot, so I'm going to use my other side. And I'm going to try to lift this side.
It's the OG brick separator.
Mm-hmm. Let me try to get right here. All right. So as you can see, the other side of the brick separator slips in between the studs and in between the seal, and then it helps you lift it up so that way you can reposition your piece. So in this case, I want to reposition some of this water so it can look a little bit better. So it's always good to at least have two brick separators. While one is lifting, you can use the other one to get underneath. This one's being really, really stubborn. Yeah. So if all else fails,
the mallet comes in handy, right?
Yeah. That's why the mallet is so.
See, that's a great testament of why you need a mallet.
Yes, because once you use it, that's it.
Get it.
It puts it all on. Now, those are the two main tools that we like to use when building with Lego. When you're building, especially if you're building on base plates and you're using flats on base plates. So real quick, Travis, let's talk about some of the pieces that we have.
Okay.
Right? Now, this right here, Travis described it. This is called a plate. Now, when you talk about plates and when you're talking about bricks, bricks are different from plates.
I would say bricks are more three-dimensional, which clearly bricks are more three-dimensional, while the flat plates are more 2D dimensional, if that's the easier way to interpret it.
To make it easier for you in understanding how to know the size of a brick, if you place 3 flat pieces, that equals the size of 1 brick. So 3 flats equals the size of a brick. That's how you can remember that.
I just learned something new right there.
There you go. Another thing is that a brick, a standard 2x4 brick, we count the studs on the top, 1, 2, and then we count the studs going down, 1, 2, 3, 4. The common size of a 2x4 brick is about the size of your standard minifig.
Without the headpiece.
Without the headpiece. So you got someone who's upset.
Yeah.
You want to be a part of the class.
Yeah, I guess so. Had a rude awakening, I guess.
So there you go. Without the headpiece, the standard brick size of a 2x4 is the same size of a minifig.
Yes. And 2x4s or other brick pieces come in many different sizes. So you're not going to always have your 2x4. Clearly, you're going to have 2x6, 4x6. It doesn't matter. Same thing goes with the flat pieces as well.
Right. You have different sizes. You have all different sizes when it relates to your different types of bricks. I'm going to use some of these bricks here. So Travis,
yes, sir.
We got a couple of messages here. Let's take some time to just kind of check out the messages.
Okay. I can't see it on my end, so we're
no problem. I'm going to read it out.
Okay.
The Miranda Ring Musistam says, "Nope, I've killed my nails on Legos. No more nail separation for me." So I have to use the nails as best as you can. It's always good to use your brick separator. Do you guys like my Lego? I just designed it. My logo, I just designed it. All right, Rayan, I like it. That looks good.
Okay. Hey, I can actually see some of the comments. So let me I'll probably read them while you're doing your thing. I didn't realize. So I gotta use my eyes.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. So where were you exactly? Were you at King Clanka?
Just above. Yeah, just above King Clanka. So the question Red Warrior has is, how do I join the class? Well, we do have a sign up for the class. The sign up for the class is going to be delivered and is going to be posted right afterwards. This class that we have here. And basically the class is going to take place on Wednesdays. It's not going to be on a public forum like this. I will send you a link. There is a cover charge to be a part of the class. And then we will be covering all different types of stuff. We will be covering and explaining all different types of stuff from Lego Masters, stuff we learned from other Lego Masters, and we might even have Lego Masters join and help with one or two classes. We'll let you know when those things come about. But that's how you can sign up for the class. There will be a link that will connect you to a sign up page. You can sign up there, and there is a cover charge, like I said. Once you send that, we will send you a private link to our class where you'll be able to access that link. You'll be able to join the class. We'll have you on video. So just make sure you have a smartphone, tablet, camera, something to that effect. So that way you're able to watch us. We're able to watch you, and we'll go through some of these steps and everything like that. So that's how we're going to proceed when it comes to what we're doing here. So Travis, let's talk about what we're going to be building for today's class.
All right, cool. So for today's class, we will be building. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there due to recent events, of course. But right now, we are going to focus on something a special holiday that was yesterday. And if anyone, I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds to tell me what was the special holiday in Star Wars fandom. Let me see if anyone can guess. I'm gonna give you guys 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, I'll just say it. Yesterday was May the 4th be with you. So this week or today for today's stream, Corey's going to build. I think someone responded. Let me see. May the 4th. Yeah, there you guys go. May the 4th be with you guys. And we are building, Corey will be building the home world of the Wookiee planet, or more so a replica of it. And our focus is going to be mainly on creating different type of maybe foliage for a planet build, or maybe different some like water gradients, some terrain gradients, depending on the build that you're trying to go for. So I think this Wookiee planet I can never say the names of the planets completely right, but Kayashk, I want to say it. Kayishk is the home world of the Wookiee planet, and if you ever seen what's it, the Revenge of the Sith, that planet, let alone the scale, but just the water, the trees, the huts that they all live in. We taken our inspiration from that scene of the planet, and Corey will be showing you guys how to create maybe trees or whatever you would like to in any kind of build that you're going for. So right now it looks like Corey's working on the water and a tree. Or bark rather.
So I'm going to show you two ways of making trees. Now I'm going to show you the very easy way to make a tree, and I'm also going to show you a more technical path on how to make a tree.
And thank you guys for for helping me pronounce it. Yeah, some of these planets from Star Wars or any kind of spatial kind of show is their names are just confusing sometimes. But Red Warrior wrote Kashyyyk. Yeah. Someone said it's Unreal said I pronounced it correctly. BD Brick Film says I'm gonna say Kashyyyk. That's how I would say. Yeah, that's how I pronounce it. Yeah. So. Yep. And Rayan Patel said that's just like what Mark and Boone made in the second to last episode. You are correct, my friend.
Yes, Mark and Boone, they really, really, really like that planet.
Yeah.
What I mean, really like, they really like that planet. If they had a choice to live there, they would probably go and live there.
And sorry, I stand corrected. May the 4th was Monday. My days are just blending together now.
It seemed like yesterday was Monday.
Revenge of the 5th. I like that. I've never heard that. Yeah, yesterday was Cinco de Mayo, but Revenge of the 5th. That's dope. Actually, never heard that. It's Blur's Day.
Blur's Day.
You guys are awesome, man. I love the Star Wars fandom in this Lego stream. I love how Lego really does. One thing the show has taught me is how Lego really does bring everything together, especially when it comes to just the things that we all grew up on and stuff like that. Like with the superhero build, that was one build that we didn't get to participate on, but one build I would have definitely loved to be a part of, especially because we're big superhero fans. And I love how Lego just has incorporated all our hobbies and interests into its brand. So it's pretty amazing.
Okay. I think we have, to be honest with you, I think we have the best fans. I think you guys are the best of the best. You guys are awesome. For coming out, hanging out. It's all love. All right, so I want to show you the two areas or the two different types of ways that you guys can build trees or start to build a tree. The first style, we're going to use the very simple style right here. Easier style right here is something that we like to call in the Lego community overlapping. Overlapping is when you take two bricks, and I like to call this cover the splits. So I like to cover the splits on my two bricks. To make one solid brick. So again, I have two splits. I cover those splits, overlapping. Now, depending on your age and your level of building technique, a more simpler way would be here, to stack. Now, stacking allows you to build something very tall. It gives you that height that you may be looking for. But unfortunately, the thing is with stacking, if you tip over a stacked piece, it will fall over with no problem. However, when you build something that's overlapped and you build it straight up, yes, it's going to require more bricks in order to make it higher, but it's a lot stronger because you're going to be covering a 4x4 area. So again, when we talk about studs, we're talking about counting the studs. So you have 4x4. You're covering a 4x4 area as opposed to a 2x4 area, which you're covering more space. So this right here is an example of overlapping where you can still take your two bricks, your two 2x4 bricks. You can place a center brick. You could do it again. You could just give it that design, but you still give it that weight. So that way it's able to cover and is a lot harder to tip over. Now, the second way is more for the advanced. Now, this right here is what you would really want to go for if you're going to make a tree and make it stand out. Now, this is called a snot technique. The snot technique is called that because of the fact that you are using your studs are not on top, meaning this is how your studs are always going to be. They're always going to be facing up. When you're dealing with snots or a snot technique, your studs are facing out. Okay? So the way I built this one, you want to definitely use had to mute Travis a little bit. But these are different examples of snot pieces. Snot pieces have studs that are sitting out already. So they're able to sit out, and it gives you the illusion and the advantage of placing flat pieces on the outside. By doing that, you're able to build your tree and make it look like a tree. Now, it gives you that height advantage as well because it's easier to stack up higher than stacking it with bricks. So there's two different ways of doing it, and it's a preference, but I kind of like the more difficult way. All right, Travis, you're back in.
Yeah, that's like my background music noise. It's therapeutic. It's called the crying baby. All right, let's see what some of you guys are saying. Okay, so I have Galactic Lego said, yeah, my first Lego set was the original Anakin Starfighter from Revenge of the Sith. Awesome. I wonder if Boone has that build. I wonder if that's the one he showed.
Oh, he does.
In one of his streams. Rayal Patel. Yes, I saw the challenge, the suggestion you made, and I think that'd be kind of cool. Definitely to do some time builds. I think Corey and I would discuss that maybe later, and maybe that could be one of our future things that we do on this channel. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Hiding Topper? What's up, guys? I watch every video, but this is the first time in the chat. You guys are awesome. Thanks, my friend, and you are awesome too. And he follows up saying, I just got done modifying the space shuttle from Lego City Series and made it fit into the Star Wars universe. That's very awesome. If you like, you could send that to us in our Instagram. We could put up and feature that on one of our builds. I would love to see what you built there. Let's see. But not on top. There you go. Okay. And Red Warrior says, I'm saving my money for the new Ninjago sets later this year.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's a big fan of Ninjago.
Okay, yeah, I can tell by his his picture there. Okay, and Galactic Lego says, I'm saving up for the Razor Crest Lego set from the Mandalorian. Awesome. That's beautiful. I'm actually trying to get a Mandalorian helmet. The person I'm trying to order from is he's just booked, but that's what I've been saving up for. Okay. It's Unreal says, I just got the Spider-Man jet yesterday. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Definitely follow us on Brothers Who Brick Instagram, and tag us in some of your pictures. I would love to see all of your builds and even get ideas of what we could bring to this channel. Okay, and King Clanka says, I'm saving my money for 501st set.
501st troop set.
Oh, okay. I don't think I've heard of that.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. All right, cool. So a lot of us are saving for sets. That's awesome.
Okay, so right now, as you guys can see, I have a tree. And basically, all I did was basically do the same exact thing as far as overlapping is concerned. Another way that you can do overlapping is by stacking bricks on its edge. Now, stacking bricks on its edge gives you that look and that feel of foliage of the tree that's coming off the branch. It's a pretty cool way of still giving that effect. You're still stacking in a way, but you're still overlapping because the bricks are sitting out. So you can always add more bricks underneath in different direction to give it that tree look. Because remember, a tree is very organic, right? And the tree, because it's very organic, it moves around and it shuffles, and it has different shapes and different directions. Unfortunately, with Lego, you're only able to really go with certain builds. You can only go 4 directions. To go different directions, like diagonal, you have to place it on a stud and kind of swivel it. So an example of that would be to place a stud right here. Let's see if I could center it. Ooh. All right. Is to place a stud on the back of one of your bricks here. Best way to place it is probably in the middle here. And then you could place it in the center. Oh. There we go. Now, by doing that, as you can see, I can give it a different direction. So I can continue to make my tree look more fuller by placing it in different directions as opposed to 4 corners. I can utilize in between those corners to give it that hexagon look. I think a hexagon is 8. I think it's about 8 sides. So you'll be able to definitely give it that look. Now,
awesome. Hey, Corey, we have a question real quick before you continue.
Yes.
Model says, do you have any recommendations on overlapping the bricks in each level for strength?
Yes. So it depends on how you want to build it. It depends on the size as well. Thank you, Moto, for that question. It depends on the size. It really depends on the size. So what I would suggest is you use a Technic beam in between your overlapping. So, for example, let's take time out so I can show you this, because I think that's a really good question, especially when you talk about strengthening your overlapping. Now, I'm gonna quickly build this right here, because let's say you're building a structure that's going to be huge, but you want it to have the strength. So let's say this is your beginning of your structure. You want to definitely grab a Technic beam, and you want to place your Technic beam inside. So let's say we're going to put our Technic beam on this third level right here. Let me see if I can grab another Technic beam. You want to use a peg. I would suggest this is not the right peg that I would use, to be honest with you. I would use, let me see if I have it close by. And I do not. Okay. Well, another class will definitely go into the Technic part of Lego. But there is a beam. Here it is. Wonderful. Is a black peg. Now the black peg and the gray peg are the same, but they're very different. The gray peg is a frictionless peg, while the black peg is a friction peg. The friction peg allows you to build something and cause it to have no friction, meaning it doesn't move around as easy. While the gray one is a frictionless peg, which allows you to have something that you're moving and you want it to be more free. Like a friction peg is better to use for building. Is better to use octagon. Thank you, Moto. Octagon. 8. I get my geometry sometimes. But, like if you're going to build a bridge, the best way to build a bridge is to use friction pegs, because you give it a chance to not move around so easy. All right. Now, I'm going to put my friction peg. I'm actually going to take 2 friction pegs. Let's do that. I'm going to take 2 friction pegs. And we're going to put our 2 friction pegs here. So I'm going to put my 2 friction pegs in between the other Technic beam that I have on the side here. Now, the next thing you want to do, you want to make sure you have another set inside. Now, as you can see, by doing this, and this is just a rough example, but by doing this, it strengthens your outside, because your outside structure is leaning on your inside structure. So I would say if you build this, and let's say you want to build it tall, let's say you're going to build it about 100 bricks tall. You want to make sure that every 10 bricks, you're doing this technique. You have the 2 Technic beams on the inside, one on the edge of your inside structure, and you connect it with 2 friction pegs in between. That's how you strengthen your overlapping to make it one solid structure. And you can make it as tall as you want, and it's not going to budge. So thank you so much for that question, Moto.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. Let's continue on. Now, this planet, Travis, what else is on this planet that we're going to need to add?
Okay, so this might be a little tricky because I'm not too familiar with your parts collection, but it needs, no, it doesn't need that. It needs a hut.
A hut.
Yeah. So for the Wookiees to live in. So they're kind of let's see. I don't want to say they're really circular. You know, I guess it all kind of depends on the layout. But you definitely need a hut. You definitely need some Wookiees. See, if I was able to be there, I have a couple of Wookiees at home. I could have definitely used. I like using the minifigs because it really can tell a story. Depending on the build you're going for, of course. But minifigs tell a good. Minifigs are used to also tell a story, and I would definitely love to include um some of the Wookiee minifigs that I have. But you can also include some stormtroopers as well in those hut areas to raid the hut.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I
Like I
have
said,
I have maybe like 2 stormtroopers out of my minifig collections.
okay. So yeah, I don't know if you could include that. Also,
So let's think about
also, mhm. Also, when you get a chance, you could maybe dive down into the water a little bit too.
okay. Can I make the water bigger?
I think that's a good size, just to get the concept. But the water is definitely murky on that planet, so you could add maybe just showing different layouts of water, like different how would you use the Lego to make different aspects of the water, I guess.
Okay. So let's start with the water because a thing that you were able to learn on the show was how to use uh, studs and how to use some flat pieces to give water some dimension, some life. So talk about how you did that while I demonstrate.
Okay, perfect. So the way I did that because I was for the first build as well when we did the dream park, and so my task was to uh, create the not only did Corey and I worked on a lazy river, but we also had a beach area. So I'm not gonna touch on the sand part, but on the water aspect and how I created dimensions, I did a lot of different techniques. Some techniques I use some of the clear, flat brick pieces, uh, where I would use some transparent ones, or I guess it's what translucent maybe, and I would use some of that. I also use some of the what do you call it? Let's see, you have them. You have like the what, I guess the 1x1 stud pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I would use some of that. Sometimes I would either I sent Jessica, I believe, did this technique in one of their builds where they kind of had the water laid out and the judges wasn't too fond of it. I think the judges kind of liked ours in a way because I didn't just use the same stud pieces, but I would use different ones to show different textures of the water. And so you'd want to use like some light blue pieces, some white pieces to show the suds, not studs, but suds of the water, maybe crashing against the. In my case, I did it crashing against the beach, but in this case, we may do some, or we might do some crashing against the ground area there or the tree there. Some of the waves we use some one by, let's say 1x6, 1x2s, 1x3s, or whatever. Use your discretion, whatever you decide to do. To use, we made for the waves to come up. I don't know if you remember that, Corey, when we did the waves around the monorail, like the base monorail.
Uh-huh.
If you want to show that too, how you had, because you definitely really showed me how to give that effect of the wave look of crashing against an object.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, once you add some more, you can talk about that a little bit. I definitely want to give a shout out to Hatton Topper for one of his comments when he says here, I'm just coming out of the Lego dark age where I hadn't touched them for at least 16 years. Now that my kids are turning 2 plus 3, I wanted to start my collection to have it to bring them joy like it did me. And honestly, we all, you, me, my brother, everyone, or anyone in the Lego community, everyone on the show, all had that Lego dark age. Sometimes it may be a year or two. Sometimes they may be, like in your case, 16 years. Um, I work as a Lego. I work. I want to say. I want to say what your job is, Corey. I work as a preschool teacher, and lots of times I use Lego for the STEM class, for like a STEM activity or a art project or what have you. And prior to that, though, I wasn't really building extensively the way I used to when I was a kid. So that would be my Lego dark age, I would say, as well, you know. And so it's really good that you're coming out of it now and ready to add to your collection to uh, bring your kids into something that you once enjoyed doing as well. So that's awesome. It's funny that you said it, because it wasn't until the show that I realized that was the terminology for not playing with Lego for such a long time. In the interview with Marissa, and, pretty awesome, pretty cool that is.
All right, so I'm going to show you guys a couple of things here that my brother mentioned. And I have to correct you, Travis. There's one person on the show, to my understanding, who has never had a dark age with Lego.
No? Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me guess.
All right.
Tyler.
Yes. Tyler has gone on record to say that he has never had a dark age because he started playing with Lego when he was playing with Duplo at the age of 2. And he hasn't stopped building with Lego since. So he has a documented history of him. I've seen pictures of him as a kid playing with Lego, and then continuing on, and then becoming the him and his wife becoming the champions of Lego Master. So yeah,
Tyler doesn't count. He doesn't count. He's like a Lego cyborg. He doesn't count. All right. No, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this part of what Travis was talking about is the water part. So as you guys can see, and I'm going to try to bring the camera a little bit closer so that you guys can get a better, you can see it a little bit better. Give me 1 second. Let me just adjust this just a little bit. All right, good. Now, the part that Travis was talking about here is that foliage, is that the soot. You said soot, right? For the water? Oh, Travis.
Yeah.
All right, so the soot and the waves crashing. So you want to definitely use those transparent pieces. You want to have your base color, which will be blue, and you also, well, it depends on your, how you want to make your ocean. And then you want to try to do a different pattern. You don't want to put all light blues and then all dark blues and then all, because it's going to look too uniformity. It's going to look too robotic.
Fake, pretty much.
Use different colors. You want to use different heights. So sometimes you want to maybe stack some on top of each other, because the colors do come out really, really dope when you do that. Another thing that you can use, in which I don't have a lot of because I used it on a different mock, are the 1x2 flats. The 1x2 flats will also give it that effect as well. One thing that Travis mentioned that was on the show that the judges didn't like is when you do something I believe we used on the show, or we called on the show as kind of like displacement or something like that.
Yeah.
Where you just take the studs and you just do this. You just place it on your base plate. Yes, it gives it that cool effect. And yes, you can definitely use this type of effect if you're displaying, and if you want to give it that kind of rough look that oceans usually have. But for the sake of the class and for the sake of what we're showing you here, you want to try not to do it. It's kind of a lazy way of building, because you're just kind of throwing it together and you're giving that awesome effect, but you're not really placing it down, because if something shifts, if the table shifts by any means, everything that you just put in place neatly will get thrown out of whack. So
Yeah.
you gotta be careful in doing that. You want to just make sure that if you want to give it that effect, that you just use the studs. You had something to add, Travis?
Yeah, I was gonna say two things actually. One, we kind of got away with that only because we did put down some of them. I didn't just like displace all of them.
Right.
So it's kind of, I think at the back portion of the water, that's when I would use it to kind of give it that ocean, like you're deep into the sea look. But in the front, remember we had it like with the flat pieces going to the front, and then we used some flat white pieces and clear pieces to give it that those suds effect, and we did that towards the beach area. So we kind of got away with that. And I was gonna say, like, just to add on to what you said, the displacement method is cool to do for your own mocks, but definitely not during a Lego Masters challenge. So.
Nice addition. All right. So Travis also mentioned something about waves. So when waves crash, when water crashes on a stable object, it bounces off of it and it creates that kind of wavy look. So what we're doing here, I'm going to show you guys how to make that look. And as you can see, all I did, I took these 1x2 plates or these flats, these 1x2 flats, and I simply did the same technique that I used to make the branches, that overlapping technique. And I just bring those overlapping techniques and I curve it. Now, another thing that you're going to learn while with us is how to utilize the space between the studs. Now, the space between the studs, and this is why I love Lego so much, because Lego is such a technical toy. It allows you to use spaces and do things that you wouldn't be able to discover by building a set. There's no set that I know from my understanding that tells you to build like this. This is something that builders find out and they create to make their objects, to make their creations look more organic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to place some of these. I'm going to place some of these here. And what I love about it is that you can always change its direction. So I'm going to place one right here, one of these waves. I'm going to have it kind of crash up. Let's move it in a little bit more. So I'm going to have it crash up just a little bit. I'm going to put another one over here. That way you're giving it that kind of a crashy look. Thank you for that.
It's funny. It's funny because I muted myself.
You mute yourself and then you still yell.
Yeah.
Terrible.
All right. But yeah, I definitely like how you did the trees there. How you show like the different color scheme there.
Mm-hmm.
Really makes it pop.
Thank you.
And that's what it's all about. That's why it's really good to add different color pieces. Lego have such a template when it comes to color. It has all colors you can think of outside of maybe gold, and like in abundance anyway. And so the Core's color usage is very is making it come popping out. And if you see, like he said, how he did the trees differently, so you guys can get a different depiction. Those tree that he did was the what with the snot methods. That's the method that Boone and Mark used in their build for the Star Wars challenge or the Star Wars scene challenge.
Also, a lot of us on the show, we utilize that method. One of the, Tyler with the second build that he did, that one right there was pretty good. He used the stop method to make his that big monster. Also, Manny and Nestor, they did that to make Timmy from the Cut in Half challenge. Legor from the same space challenge they also used that as well. So again, with this method right here, as you can see, you can definitely create all different types of shapes when it comes to Lego. So, and it's very flexible. So this right here, I'm gonna use this for the tree house. So I'm gonna place it here. And then I'm gonna just kind of curve it around the tree. So I have that kind of effect going up. All right. So right now we're approaching our 1 hour mark. And usually we have this class. This class is only for 1 hour. But in that hour, I want to demonstrate and show you what we were able to cover and what we were able to do with that book. So we were making the Planet cookies. I'm not going to try or attempt to say that, but this is what we did for that challenge. Well, for that scene, we created a water here. I wanted to create a little bit of a different platform from the tan base plate. So I used gray. The trees, we used two different methods. We used the snot method over here, which gives the tree a little bit more height. It gives you a little bit more freedom to design it because your studs are facing outward. You're doing the snap technique here. This technique on the other side right here is the overlapping technique. This technique is mainly for the younger builders who are learning how to create stuff organically, learning how to create stuff outside of the rule book. So you can definitely do overlapping in order to create that type of look. We spoke about the water and how you can use studs, and you can also use flat pieces in different colors to give your water more pop. Instead of it being a plain blue, as you can see right here in the small section, that blue looks like it has a little bit more life. It looks like it has a little bit more life going on in here. You can also use some of the techniques that we use for the overlapping with the 1x pieces, with the 1x2 flats, and you can use that to give yourself some curvature. So that way you're bending and you're curving the Lego in ways that it was never really intended for it to curve and bend, but you give it that look right here. So that was today's lesson, and this was all because of May the 4th be with you and Revenge of the 5th. So this is why we decided today to focus on this type of scene. Now, once again, our classes are going to be every week Wednesday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you are interested in joining our next class will not be on YouTube Live. It will be a actual class structure, meaning you will have to register for that class. You will have to pay a coming in cost or registration fee, whatever you want to call it, and then we will have that private type of class setting. And what we will also do is add you to the stream so that you can follow along with us. You can build with us. Okay. All of this is going to help my brother and I continue to do these type of videos for you guys. Continue to buy more Lego so that we can show and demonstrate different techniques. It's also going to help us in the next big projects that for the next big projects that we have lined up. My brother and I, we have a couple projects that we're looking to do coming up very soon. We're also looking to do round 2 of our Pinata Challenge. If you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I posted a small video of us basically calling out the Pinata on Cinco de Mayo. So that's something that me and my brother, we're definitely going to do. We're gonna take another crack at the Cut in Half Challenge. That's gonna come up very soon, so please stay tuned for that one. We're also gonna finish our Star Wars challenge and our mega challenge, the same type of challenge that our brothers and sisters did on the last episode of the show. we're definitely going to do that as well. So as you guys can see, a lot of things the Brothers Who Brick are going to be doing, are going to be bringing to you. And we just, all we ask is for your support in coming out. Parents, if we have any parents on the stream, we do have a very similar class structure for our younger viewers, our kindergarten through first grade viewers, where we talk about different shapes, we talk about different colors, and we talk about how to put those shapes and colors together in order to build, cool objects for their delight. Some of our older, kids or students around the 4th and 6th grade persuasion. If you're interested in a more technical style of class, we definitely have that option for you. So please, in the next couple of days, a form will be out. You can sign up through that form. You can email us, Brego Bros. I want to type that in real quick here in the chat, so you guys know how it's spelled.
Hey, quick! I just want to read off some of these questions before we
Absolutely.
Some of the things people said here. So Galactic Lego, if you're still on, I don't know what you mean by this exactly, but do you have a suggestion on how much dust is being kicked off the ground in Lego? I don't know quite what you mean by that. So if you're still on, that'd be great. Do you have suggestions to get subscribers? Is another follow-up question from you. Hey man, just keep on building and putting out videos. That's the best way you'll get subscribers. Keep promoting yourself and whatnot. And BD Bricks says he emailed us a pic of a micro scale build that he did for the minifig scale, like on episode 10 of Lego Masters. He emailed that and he would like to be featured on Brothers Who Brick post.
All right, no problem.
No problem.
Every Friday we do we have we post like some of our awesome, some of the best and awesome fan pics that we get. So we'll definitely take a look at it. We'll definitely post it for you, for joining the stream. Anybody else who's on the stream right now who would like to send us something, please send it to bregobros@gmail.com. If you follow us on Instagram, The Brothers Who Brick, you can follow us on Instagram. You can DM us that, and we will definitely be able to feature that on our Friday feature.
Yep, definitely. And Nate says, "That's cool what you built for today's lesson." Hey, Big Nate, appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate that. Okay, I meant to say how the show dust in Lego. Okay,
you can talk about that, but that also be for next lesson too.
How to show dust in Lego. Okay. That's something that I will have to show you on another class. So definitely save that question. Okay. Definitely send us that question, because that will be something that we do. I will take a picture of this particular build that we did. So I'll definitely share this build on our Instagram as well. So once again, everybody, I just want to thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate the love. We appreciate you guys coming out and joining and hanging out. Once again, if you are interested in taking our class next Wednesday, please follow up and send us or follow the link that we're gonna provide on this video and on our Instagram, and you'll be definitely able to sign up, and you'll be definitely able to continue doing some more lessons with the Brothers Who Brick. So,
man.
You want to add anything before we sign off?
Robin?
Would you like to add anything before we sign off?
No, I think you said it in a nutshell, man. I appreciate all the love and support of you guys, of these awesome Lego fans of the show, of Brothers Who Brick. You guys are amazing, and tell your friends, tell your family to tune in. I mean, look, we're all home, right? So, I mean, it's something positive for everyone to be a part of. Lego is making a big comeback, and we're all in it for the ride. So let's get our brick on, keep on building. I had to shut off my video for obvious reasons, but
right.
Yeah, man. So Hope you guys, sign up for the class. We'll be here every Wednesday, and let's go. Let's get this going.
All right.
All right.
So take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us once again. Get your brick on, and we'll see you next time. The Brothers Who Brick. This is Corey.
I'm Travis.
Peace out.
Signing out. Yeah. Okay.